Welcome to the Creative Masterminds podcast.
Where we create more and destroy less.
Yes, sir. Fire podcast. You know who you got in the house. You have Sean Brees in the house, and you also have,
Cast Thrive, what's happening?
yes, sir. You know how we do. We start with a week in review. We talk about the week, what we got done, and then we talk about the subject. I'm not sure why I pause like that all the time, but like I don't know what I'm going to say. But anyway, we talk about the subject. Today's subject is going to be focused on following the path of least resistance. So whatever is coming at you is coming at you for a reason, and we believe that you should grab on to whatever is coming at you and just ride that wave. So, and we will explain more about that in the podcast. So, like I said, like we usually do, we start with Cass with his week in review. Cass, what did you get done this past week?
Yeah, man. Coach my classes with the youngins with boxing and the MMA striking, and also the training, the hit classes, and also some cardio classes, kickboxing. So I just handled business, spent time with the fam, and made sure the boys are good, wifey, and all of the fam. We're all doing good and blessed. Actually, sat down with wifey, and it's time to regroup a little bit, get ready for the new year coming up, and make sure that we're all in alignment with each other and with God guiding us, And so it was good to sit down and to really just have a good discussion, really talk and see where each of us are at with the kids and with work and all the moving parts of our family. It's a lot of times that we don't get to sit down and really discuss and make sure each of us is good and make sure we're on the same page. So it was good to sit down with her, and we're gonna do that more often and just regroup, get collective together, and make sure that we are heading towards the goal together, strong and powerful. So.
It's very smart and wise of you because that's what I call calibration, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys are both calibrating with each other to make sure you guys are in alignment. You are and ensure that you guys are going along, the same, at least headed in the same direction along the same path.
Most definitely.
That's dope, man. Very smart. For me, what did I get done? I mainly focus on getting my mix done or getting my mix perfected. I went to go see my mentor, John Robinson. He owns Arcadia Music Group. I'm going to go ahead and give him a plug for sure. It's a black owned business. He's a not famous producer. He's a low key producer now, but he did work on some like high profile things in the '90s, like TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool album,
Nice.
John B. AZ Yet, and some other R&B acts like Pink and stuff like that. Well, I guess maybe when Pink was R&B, I don't know. But
Yeah.
he worked with some high profile guys, and so he moved to Keller, Texas from California, the LA area, and so he came down here. He has a studio, and some by the grace of God, I got linked up with him, and he taught me piano, and then I went to production lessons with him, and he taught me some very good tips or some very good things about production and mixing and everything. So I've been working with him to really perfect the song called Black Guys, which features JJ3K now. So I've been working on getting that mix correct. I played it for him last Thursday. He said that basically I'm at the house. If you can, I guess maybe you can imagine a house as an industry or whatever. He said basically I'm there at the door, with my bags and everything like as far as my sound quality is up to par with the industry standards. So I'm very happy about that. It took me a long while. It took me really over the course of this whole year and some change to ever since I left my job. It took me that long to really perfect my sound and get my sound to be pristine. And it took like Nipsey say on his album, hard work and dedication. So it was a big sigh of relief that I had when he told me that I was like very close to sounding super duper pristine, like as good as the industry. And I'm pretty sure I can push to become better than what the industry standard is nowadays, because I'm really hearing that nowadays, music wise, people aren't really mixing their tracks to the fullest potential And if that's the case, then I know for sure that my hunt for perfection will gain me the advantage to put out quality music that's way superior to what's being played nowadays. So very happy about that. Very happy about that. Along those lines, I've been working on this other track that I started on Saturday. It's called "Can't Lose," and I made the track in one day. I'm very happy about it. Like it's so good that my wife, she heard me like mixing it and playing it and everything and fine tuning it in the background, and then she asked me like, "Hey, did you make it that in one day? You made that today?" I'm like, yeah. And she's like, "Oh, okay." She hit me with that head nod like, "Oh, I see you." Okay. And so that's a good thing. I mean, it really showed that I really am growing as an artist. And I actually played that track from a friend of mine who came over, Carol, and she dug the track too. So that's going to be released sometime, maybe next week for sure after I do some more fine tuning to it. But yeah, that shows that hard work and dedication is allowing me to create things of quality very fast. So just hopefully somebody can get inspired by that. Just stay focused on on what you want to get done, what you want to perfect. You will get there eventually. Just keep staying dedicated to it for sure.
A must, yes, sir.
For sure. And that's really mainly it. And also doing some photography stuff in the background. So just working. So let's go ahead and hop into the subject, which is following the path of least resistance. We kind of both, came to this point because just the interesting point in our lives at this very moment, how things are coming at us. Cass, it seems like you're getting more opportunities to personally to do some personal training, and you have your gig. Well, I guess I'll let you go ahead and explain that. You can talk for sure about what inspired it from your end of making sure that you focus on following the path of least resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like a lot of us, we are gifted at many different things, and with myself, I have my hands in a lot of different things, and I'm pretty good at it, but not just great at anything and mastered anything like I want to. So, I just realized, as on your day-to-day life and how things happen, you need to pay attention to where you are received for what you do in a different way than everywhere else. And with my personal training, with fitness, with coaching, and the boxing and the MMA, striking and stuff, it's open. There's not many doors, and more doors open up. So it's very welcoming and receiving to me in that industry. And not to say that it's not with the others, but it's some roadblocks. You got to do different things, with for the music, so to speak. It's I haven't got a placement or anything, which are goals, and it will come. I believe that, but sometimes you got to focus on, where the energy that you put out is received and it's helping others, because it's not just about me and what I want. So when I'm doing the training, when I'm in that mode of coaching and all that, I'm at my best because I'm helping other people, helping them achieve their goals, helping them feel good about themselves. So that's where, it's not about just me doing something to get recognition for my skills with the drums, or the skills with how I make the kicks and the hi-hat groove together, or whatever. That's more about me, wanting to get that recognition for myself maybe. But with the personal training and the coaching, I'm helping other people, and it's many others that are being helped and reaching their goals, and their lives are improving from that. So I would just say, that's a sign that when things are opening up that way, where you're helping others and you're being received in that industry, or whatever lane it is, then, focus on that and target that, and other things will open up. But you have to get to that target and be a blessing to others for other things to open up. It'll free up.
It's funny. It's like you send me that clip of E.T. Eric Thomas,
Uh-huh.
and I went on like a rabbit hole. I checked that part of the podcast, but I ended up like checking out some more of his like inspirational videos or him like speaking.
That's
But
my
that's like
dog.
that's
Yeah.
one of the things for sure that he talked about, like the importance of focusing on value and the value that you give to others, and that if you focus on what value you are giving to others, there's no way you won't have a return on that investment or of like what you're giving out to others. And so that's like very important. And like so yeah, you want to focus on the value that you give to others. You also want to focus on, damn, I lost my train of thought. You want to focus on the value that you give to others. You also want to focus on, shoot, damn, I just, my train of thought. My bad. Help me out, Cass. Help me out, Cass, right
I
quick.
got you. Yeah, for sure. Like, as I'm reading a book about Miles Monroe, what is it called? Something about purpose, the pursuit of purpose or something. And he talks about, and this goes into, where we are received and it opens up, is purpose is, our purpose is part of a bigger purpose. So me, fulfilling the purpose of me getting my NASM certification, the boxing certification, all these things, that was a goal and part of my purpose. But the bigger purpose was to help one of my clients that needed it, that was having issues with their back, and me helping them, recover from that and do exercises in the meantime where they, get to stay active. So, that's just, we have our purpose, the individual purpose for ourselves that we're born with. We're born with
Mm-hmm.
our purpose. And then that's part of a whole bigger purpose. So it's not, just about us. And we want to make sure that we're focused on our purpose and keep in mind that it's part of a whole bigger purpose. And that should fuel us, to get the job done, to be at our best. Because when we do that, then that bigger purpose, will be fulfilled. And that's,
Yeah.
that's what he goes in on that book. So
Because that purpose is like the battery pack of sorts. Like it's like the reminder of like this is why you're doing it.
Yes, sir.
Why this is why you put on all the sweat equity towards what you want to achieve in life. But yeah, okay, all right. I think I got it. I got back to the value topic. So yeah, like it's important to understand. Focus on giving value to others, and pay attention to how people are receiving what you give to. Pay attention to how people are receiving what you are giving them. If they're like really rocking with it, or if they're really loving it, focus on like that as like your or what you need to focus on giving more of. It's like I actually just listened to a interview by this rapper named Benny the Butcher. He's like a up north rapper
The
from
Butcher.
Benny the Butcher from New York. It's like it's a straight street coke drug rap, like circa like the '90s or 2000s ish, like 50 Cent type of stuff. And so basically, one thing he realized that him and his group, actually he has he's under a record label called Griselda. And so him and his group realized that there was like a void within the music industry where people were missing that grimy New York drug rap. And so they were the people who were able to put enough work in to fill that void to what people were missing. And so like they made a whole name off of that. And they realized that they realized that there was a void because of the fact that like they kept putting out music and people were responding to it in like in a dope way, and like they were kind of confused at first, like if this music will really rock, because the industry tells you that the whole world is past that type of sound, but no, like they making a living, a very solid living doing their music because they were able to provide the value that they wanted to provide to their customers, and their customers they valued that hardcore drug rap. And so I say all that to say, like, hey, man, focus on the value that you're giving to others. It is very, very important. And like I said, like, focus on how people are responding to what you're giving them. Like E.T. said, he said, like, a very solid thing, which was, let's say if you create something and you put it out and people aren't really responding to it in a positive way, like, don't get offended. Like, don't get butthurt about it. take that feedback, go back into the lab and work on it. Work on fine tuning it, until you get to the point where people are really rocking with it. Because yeah, at the end of the day, if you're a person who create products, you're creating it for like your end client, your end user, and so that's one thing that I had to get over. Had to get over myself essentially, where I felt like, all right, if I felt like it was good enough, then it's good enough, and that's not necessarily true. Like the client opinion matters. Like a good example would be me doing some family photography recently, and usually I would be like very picky with photos that I would give to the clients. I would give like photos that only I would like. But like with this session with this client, I decided to like no, like I don't know it all. I'm not sure what everything that this person would like. I'm not even sure of like this family dynamic of like how they're like the chemistry, like their character, their like if they're like a goofy family or like a serious family or a stoic family, whatever. So like I made sure that I included a variety of different pictures, like happy pictures, serious pictures, whatever, all these different things, because I'm not sure what they like, because I don't know it all, and so of course on your journey, like I want to make sure people know to never think that you know it all. Never act like you know it all. Remain humble, and always keep your mind open to new ideas and new things. For sure, that's like a tangent, but I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, man, that's straight to the point, and it's all about again our purpose, but really knowing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say take that inventory within, or search within and see what works, what makes you feel good, and how are people responding to that. Because even today, like I did a hit class earlier, and I had some tips to do to change it up to make it better. So I added them all together and my own style. And one of the coaches that was in the class, they said that they knew that I was feeling good because they felt it and they felt good while I was coaching them, getting them pumped
Mm-hmm.
up. Like, hey, finish strong. We start strong, finish strong. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go. It's sprint mode. Let's go. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking my talk, getting them hyped up, and that's part of it. Is you gotta make sure that you're feeling good so other people can feel that, because as human beings we are very aware you know of our surroundings and of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us can read other people very
Mm-hmm.
well. So, we want to make sure that that we are aware of what energy we're giving off,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that is helping others, and that it bringing it back to that it is that the feedback that we're getting is showing us that we're in the right place, that we're doing the right thing. It'll all it'll all come together. It'll all show us, like, with who we're encountering and what we're putting out, the energy and all
Mm-hmm.
that. It will give us that feedback that we're in the, and we need to be noticing that we need to go in that direction
Mm-hmm.
where the energy is welcoming, where it's warm, where it's right. And where it's not, then we
Mm-hmm.
need to, stay away from that. Or if you think, if that's the direction you really want to go, then how can you change it up, change that energy where it's not negative, not where it's not a roadblock, and you can break through it. Because sometimes we do need to break through it. It's not going to be easy all the time. It's not always going to be welcoming, even in those areas that we feel we should be, so.
Mm-hmm. Because I believe like along the subject of like energy, like and us having our energy, and you saying that basically people will react to your energy, because like that's it sound like what happened to the guy in your class, that he saw that your energy was high level, you was up, what I'm saying, and then he saw the energy and he was able to feed off that. I forgot who said this, but somebody said that like essentially people, we are like magnets, right? And based off of our energy and what we project is what we attract. And so that's why you do have to practice a great amount of self awareness with yourself to see like, what energy are you giving out? But then also you have to practice self awareness to see how people are responding to your energy. Like if like you're a person who goes to the gym and like you met a few people a few times, and then like when you walk by them, they put the headphones on real quick. Like, hear this dude again. Like maybe you got this energy about you that they don't want to fuck with you like that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe of course it could not just not be you, could just be them, of course, but. Well, you also want to be make sure that maybe if you're walking around the gym with a mean mug on and you're looking at people, staring at people, looking crazy and everything, like a good example would be like, I went on hobo mode, like I was like a straight up bum, for a good old month. Maybe it's a month and it's changed where I didn't get like a haircut or anything. My beard was like all crazy and everything. I was looking straight up like I was on the streets. But I was still like expecting people to respond to me like in a cool way. But I had to take a step back and realize that, I kind of like a bum right now. So I had my cousin come over, cut me up real quick. So shout out to my cousin Monte the barber on Instagram, who came through to the crib and cut me up and got me looking real spiffy. And of course, how you appear to people is how it will change how people will respond to you, of course. And so you also want to be aware of your appearance. I'll say all that to say that because you don't want to go around looking like a bum and everything, and then you try and wonder why people are responding to you in a terrible way. Hey man, you got to make sure that you look good too, and you smell good too. Like I hate, I know gym is like a place where people will be stinky at times because people are gaining up sweats. But hey, it was like one time I was doing like the chest machine. I smelled some dude 3 machines down, smell like ass and degree. Like, bro, like ass and axe. Like, people try to mix their funk with some colognes or something. Like, yeah, it's still terrible. But anyway,
just woke up.
Yeah, like, bro, don't do that. And so anyway, I say all that to say that too. Like, hey man, make sure you look good, smell good, because that that really determines how people will receive you. That could be like the beginning stages of like you interacting with somebody that may potentially bring you value in your life. And so yeah, that's like another sidebar. But yeah.
For sure, yeah, and like a lot of us we're in our heads a lot of times, like we're in that mode and all that. So a lot of people just aren't expecting it. But if you come off and give them that good energy, it'll. Because the other day I was just in my head. I was walking to Brookshires to run and get something real quick, and I was in my head, and the lady came out. I really wasn't in the social thought, even in the mindset. I was just like, let me go get this stuff so I can head back to the house. And this.
Yeah.
She was like, hi, how you doing? I was like, it brought a smile right to my face, because her smile, it was, contagious to me. And, and I appreciated it after. I was like, oh, that was nice. I was like, dang, it made me think. I was like, I wondered, did she see me and think that I was like in a bad mood, or that or maybe she would have said that to anybody walking out. But, I was like, well, I guess, I needed that, thanks God. It made me think like, like, hey, how am I looking right now? Was I looking, ticked off, sad, out of it or whatever? But she felt the need to do that. So I was like, all right, cool. Appreciate it. I smiled back, and it changed my thinking and my appearance from then on, from that point. So that's important,
It's dope that you were able to practice that self-awareness, like to take that moment to like, just check yourself to see like what's going on with you. And that's like just perfect, like a perfect showcase of like you just understanding that a lot of things are just a mirror. Like our relationships are a mirror of like how, like if you can really, practice some great awareness. I'm trying to figure out how to really break it down and explain it really well. But like just how people react to you, how people how people react to you, respond to you, how you respond to people, how you treat things. Everything is a relationship, and I think it is very important to understand how like your relationship to many things, like not only to people, objects. You know what I'm saying? If you're a person who go out and turn up to a lot or whatever, you maybe need to analyze your relationship with turning up. Like, why do you turn up so much? Is it like a form of you being like a healthy outlet to you, or are you trying to escape something? Like everything is a relationship, so you should just practice self awareness and identify like why you do things and yeah, why you behave a certain way. But yeah, but I kind of felt like we kind of got away from like the path of choosing the path of least resistance. It's probably partially my bad. But yeah, back to the topic. Choosing the path of least resistance. Um, um, like one of the main things why that's been like the top thing in my mind, the fact that I feel like just things are just coming to me in a very natural way. Like photography wise, I'm not really actively seeking photography gigs, but photography gigs are like coming to my door, like with me doing nothing. Like I said, I had a recent gig that I didn't really advertise for. Somebody hit me up that I did a job before, that I did a job for before, and then they reached out to me, like a family member of theirs reached out for me to do photos for them. And my uncle, he's trying to hook me up with this school photography gig. And then people keep hitting me up, like asking me if I still do fashion photography. So all these things are like just hitting me. Like it's like big signs that, hey, photography. You need to focus on photography. And so and that's what like really has me focus on, making sure that I'm paying attention to the photography world so I can get some income in, because one of the main things why I'm getting back into photography is to get some capital. It's a very easy way for me to get capital, more so than it's more easier for me to get capital within photography than music. Because music is like really my hardcore true passion. But like Cass kind of alluded to earlier, that with music it's a very slow grind, where like it basically at this moment everybody is a musician or want to be. Everybody rapping about the same thing, everybody having the same beats. Saying everything is like it's very saturated. And so with that, it's going to take. I identified that it will take time for me to break through the noise, and so with that, that's why I focus on like, all right. That's why I got like very happy with me being able to, make my music really really fast. Like me being able to make a solid song within a day, because that allows me to know that I'm able to create product very quickly music wise, while also attend to my photography without missing a step. And so I'm basically gonna be working those two angles, where I'm working on my photography and my music primarily, and then like focus on those two things and see what pans out. But my most important thing for me is like it's gonna be music, and make sure that my music knocking that I gain some success within that realm. But yeah, like choosing that path of least resistance, like making sure that you pay attention to what's coming to you. Very easy. Like I said, photography for me. I also like music production too. Like in music, and like just me being able to craft tracks really easy, without me thinking too much about it. I'm just doing it like that, and so I'm just trying to go with the natural flow of life. It can be very scary for sure, because it's like you're really working off of faith. Like that's why I feel like I'm working off of faith at this very moment. It's not like I'm working off of a solid paycheck right there in the future. And so that's where, fortunately, I believe enough in God that I know that if I stay this course, if I stay persistent on this course, that in due time I will achieve what I want to achieve in life. And so yeah, man, that's what to say.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, you definitely you want to pray about it, meditate, and really, ask for guidance. And because where the doors open up, it may not necessarily be the best play. I mean, that makes it seem that way and more obvious, but it may not be. So you definitely want to, pray, and you want to be in tune with what's going on. That's the main thing. When you're in tune, like, this is probably not a good idea. And, through the mind, we get a lot of various thoughts that fly through and all that. But there's a point of you that's solid, where like, okay, hey, this is, I know I should do this, the intuition. And, that's not the thoughts that fly by that are, like, they're just voices and thoughts or whatever. But that solid you, where like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do that. And then, like you said, taking that path, that means you have to make a decision. Like, doing that is even half the battle, because if it is the wrong decision or whatever, you'll venture off and you'll get to where you're going, but you must make a decision. You can't be on the
True.
fence. If you're on the fence, then we're never going to go anywhere. We're just going to be on the fence.
Yeah, no, for real.
Versus just be on the fence, and you won't get anywhere. So you got to get off the fence and pick a path. You got to choose one. Like,
Looking like Felix the cat, if people remember Felix. That's old school, but yeah,
cat,
no,
right?
you can't be on the fence, man. You got to make the choice, and it's very tough. Like I said, like it's tough to make the choice to really pursue, music hardcore, and you see like the industry, and so that just, it forced me to be very creative and or think out the box of like realizing that the upfront money of like, so like people basically not really making music off of like their actual music, like if you put out a song and you are expecting to make like 100K or some or money from that. No, it's not gonna happen. Not like that. Not unless you big Drake type of thing, because you need volume numbers, and
Yeah.
most people are streaming nowadays. And so, I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole to kind of help people see like my mind state, my mindset, and hopefully people can pick up from that. But like, so yeah, like me making the choice to go to music, so the upfront money is not there, so that forced me to like think about like, all right, what ways can I be valuable, like you said earlier, provide value in a way that most people aren't able to, because most people are able nowadays to at least put together a decent beat to make a hit. Worst of 5ix9ine, dope rapper, said like a very important thing about like creating the music creation process is he said that like it doesn't have to be a perfect beat, it just has to be the right beat. It doesn't have to be the perfect verse. It just have to be the right verse. Like he referenced Dre nothing but G thing verse reference, and he said like it's not like a lyrical verse, but it's the perfect verse for that song, and that's what's most important. So like with that said, like so skills like beat wise, it doesn't really to get it like a something popping doesn't really matter. It need to be the like lyrical wise doesn't really matter. It need to have like the right combination of things together that will make things pop. So anyway, I saw that to say that it's very tricky with the music industry, and so I realized that one way that I can like separate myself is the fact that I can be a person who engineers himself. Most people don't. Most people do not engineer their own vocals, mix their own vocals, and master their own tracks or anything like that. Most people do not do that. Most people do not have the patience or the time. And I was fortunate enough to have the patience and the time to really work through the process of like getting myself to sound top tier next to like what's on the radio. And so now I have created basically a strength point where now I can sell my services of like me mixing and me engineering people now, because most people aren't able to do that. So I say that I just tell that story to like if you see something that like you see that it may be very difficult or like is very saturated within the industry. Just keep digging, keep researching the industry, and figure out all right, what's something that most people aren't doing or aren't able to do, and then within that, make sure that you can find something that you love doing within that, and then that really is a solid way for you to create value for yourself or make yourself of value to others. So I just want to give that game right there, that jewel.
Set yourself apart, man.
For sure,
That's
you have
it.
to.
That's
You
the
have
name
to.
of it.
Because like I said, man, this music industry, everybody, it's almost getting like the podcast too. Because like, everybody trying to get a podcast or start a podcast.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
but the thing is, it brings me joy. It's kind of crazy, but because I feel like, but everybody is not built like this. Like, not everybody can like on a consistent basis record every time we record, and then put the time to edit and then upload every week. Everybody would not be able to do that over the course of years. That's
Yeah.
the thing, because it's really it's like Nipsey says, it's a marathon, and so over the course of like years upon years, without being like necessarily seen by people, will you be able to do this? And I for sure believe that me and Cass can, because we've been doing it, and
Straight up.
we be getting like acknowledgement from people, but we doing this for the pure sport right now. we up here, we just in the gym right now. You know what I'm saying? Shooting, going back and forth, and because eventually one day this thing will really pop. And so
1,000 shots a day.
for sure, and so I just want to show you that mentality that we have. That you have to be that person who is who's really willing to be diligent and work and be persistent in what you do for sure.
Most definitely. Yeah, man. That's what it's about. You hit the nail on the head, man. That's it. So stay focused. The what was it? The least resistance. Don't
Path of least.
path of the least resistance. For sure.
You go the path of least resistance, man. And just
Get
go with
off
the flow.
fence. Yeah, get off the fence.
Yeah.
Find what what you're passionate about. Because we all have a lot of hobbies, like I said before, but find the one where it may not be your passion at the moment, but the one where the path is opening up and you can see your way through. You know what I'm saying, and that you're actually getting good responses from others as well. Because it's not all about ourselves. We want to definitely, like I said, we're in it to help others. That's what it's all about. The sun and the moon work together. Without one, the other one's not going to work. And the earth has to be in alignment. If it's off a little bit, none of that's going to work. So it all works together. It's a bigger picture than than just our spot. But our spot, it counts and it matters a whole lot. So we owe it to ourselves and to everybody else, the world, impacting the world by handling our business and being in the position we're supposed to be in.
Absolutely true, man. We definitely killed it. I just looked at the time. It's like 30. I think we're 37 minutes in. So let's go ahead and wrap it up and go ahead and give out your socials, Kaz. Unless you have anything else you want to add to it.
No, man, that's it. I think we gave them a great word today and point of view. Our situations where we're at right now, hopefully they can learn from it. And hey, you guys comment and let us know where y'all are at and how it helps you. And you can reach me on Instagram at CAS_THRIVE, and also at the Boxing Bell, and on Facebook as well. Just holler at your boy.
Yep. For me, you can reach me at SeanBreeze.com, BreezeLightMedia.com, TheCreativeMasterminds.com. You also can reach me at Sean Breeze on Instagram. I have been on Instagram more. I've been cooking. And so people have really been responding to my cooking videos, like me whipping up some fire turkey meatballs, super duper, man, like super on point, man, for real. But anyway, so yeah, follow me on Instagram. You want to see me cook and do some other things with the family and everything. You can follow me on Facebook, OG Sean Breeze, Twitter, OG Sean Breeze, and yeah, that's where you can find me, man. So yeah, this has been the Creative Masterminds podcast, Fire Podcast.
Yeah.
The path of least resistance. Make sure you choose that. Go with the flow.
Hop off the fence.
For sure, hop off the fence. Life will be a lot more easier for yourself. And so, with that said, we are out. Peace.
Holla.